Lucas managed to make Film Score Monthly run for almost 15 years. In the 14th year, he just about had it. Tim and John and I put our heads together and said, what can we do to keep this going? Because we don't want it to die.
When Lucas gave us the word that it was going to go away, the printed version was going to go away in September of 2005, John and I had roughly a month to sort of map out exactly what we wanted to do with the online version.
I thought I wanted it to run forever, and I knew that that would be impossible for me because it was so expensive and so time-consuming, and I was brokenhearted that I had to shut it down. And then when they offered to keep it going this way, I mean, I was just so happy.
All right, volume 11, number 10 in the can. This is our first volume 11, number 11. Our first number 11 ever.
Reminds me, what's this editorial going to be about?
Film Score Monthly was a voice that we didn't really want to lose because we're probably the only true critical journal about film music, and we do consider film music an art form. That's arguable, I suppose, especially nowadays, but there is still enough good, I believe, that it's still worth talking about intelligently and not as just a source of PR.
Joe Sikoriak is going to be writing this month's editorial. I know. Do you know what's going to be on? We were having this discussion about how much he hated. What was it about? It was about how much he hated TV music now.
Is it going to be about what he used to like, or?
I think so. Yes. It's going to be about.
Oh, because of the Star Trek cover.
Yes.
That makes sense.
Yes.
Basically, what we did was we translated as closely as we could the magazine to online. And then we embellished that with all the features that you get by going online, MP3s and new video features.
I mean, there were plenty of times when I thought, this is going to be too difficult, there's no way it's going to work. And a lot of people thought that too. I remember Lucas thinking that it wasn't going to work either. No one knew.
We wanted to keep the core idea the same, like we kept as many of the same writers and people on board as we could, so it kept the same voice and attitude towards film music.
A lot of people just had to get over the hump of, you know, having this tactile magazine in front of them that they could take to the bathroom. And so I say, you know, take the laptop to the bathroom instead.
My job is to proofread and check all text, whether it be captions, headlines, bylines, decks, and transcripts. Then you get dishwashed. That's clean.
The Associated Press Style Book is a guide put out by the Associated Press. And it's a journalist, it's like the journalist Bible in terms of what's right to do, grammar, usage.
This is your live and die book right here.
He knows, you know, the Associated Press Style Book like the back of his hand.
We had a difficult time dividing the work between us at first, and perhaps still, because really there's a ton of work behind this, more than two people should really be doing, putting the whole magazine together and realizing it online. Just the logistics of putting together each issue, it basically falls on the two of us.
Aren't you the one who says we should be spending more time working together?
He has his people and his contributors and his content that he brings. I have mine that I bring. We never do it anymore. We used to do it when we were at the office. We'd go to lunch all the time.
It's a lot of effort to go out and eat lunch if you don't really have a reason to.
It sort of amazes me how much of the structure of the magazine is still intact on the web, and there's a lot of flexibility, you know, for us to go on forever. You know, we've always had to cut interviews, and we can sort of run them as long as we want now.
It's one thing to read someone, a composer you really like in text. It's another to hear them. And in a lot of cases with the web documentaries, to see them.
I mean, it does allow us to play around with audio.
That took a few months before everyone sort of started glomming onto that and saying, hey, this is cool. It's not the old magazine, but a lot of the content is the same. These things are pretty darn fun. Okay, that's not bad. Not bad. Nah.
when we were transitioning to the web, of course, I had to be involved. And of course, I had to help design the templates as much as I could and come up with a format and establish what little graphic rules I could.
Joe still, provides us the cover artwork and anything else that he can do that his time allows.
I mean, the web is a very frustrating medium for a magazine designer because you can't do most of the things that are fun. Big type, big pictures, colorful layouts. I mean, you can, but not if you're going to produce stuff rapidly and economically.
The web is really dynamic. It's changing all the time. When we add content, we can make changes up to the very, very last minute. Sometimes we're making changes once the issue goes live.
First thing I do is log into the server, the admin for FSMOnline. Which takes me to a listing of the new issue and all its corresponding articles. And the first thing I might do is start looking at the reviews. And then I just go through reading it line by line, word by word, syllable by syllable. And then I go to sleep and wake up a couple hours later to go to school.
What are we going to do to mark the one-year anniversary of the magazine?
Throw a party?
Who should be our piñata?
Jeff?
Yeah. Working with John is great. John can be, in a lot of ways, the sort of creative force behind the magazine. John has a lot of really great ideas. Score Restore is John's idea, John and Al.
We don't want to have score restores in like every single issue, and we want to alternate with something else.
Or till we run out.
We'll never run out.
Yeah, we will. You don't think we'll run out?
Never ever run out. We'll only run out of the will to spend the time, because it'll take more and more time to do these in the future.
I just don't want to overuse it. I want to keep it fresh. I want to keep it, to be. The other thing that happens is that if you put something in every issue, then everybody comes to expect it, and sometimes you can't always deliver.
Have you changed your mind about the score restore yet?
No, I just don't want it. I just feel like
Didn't you read all those positive emails? We don't get any mailbag anymore, but people actually write to say how they like it.
Yeah, but you know what else? I get emails that you don't get, and they're the ones that say, I couldn't download it, something's wrong. People have responded really well to it, and John wants to sort of keep that train moving.
It's just a shame to abandon such a beloved concept so early. So
We're not, it's not like we're getting, it's not like we're getting rid of it. We're not abandoning it. We'll bring it back, but I do feel like, first of all, what if we run out of stuff?
We'll never run out of stuff.
We might run out of stuff.
It's impossible. There are too many pieces of music that have been dropped or haven't been used that we do have on album. We could keep this going for 2 years just using Empire Strikes Back.
John's checking stuff and sending me emails that are annoying me with last minute corrections. He sends me a list and I say, I get frustrated and I go, I don't know if I can do that. And then he says, you have to. And then I send him one back that says, I quit. And then he sends one back that says, ah! And then everything's fine. Hello.
Hi.
How's it going?
This is in case you change your mind about score restore.
It couldn't be better because we've moved into the future. We're also continuing the good things that it was, and the way we're archiving the old issues is really nice, so I'm thrilled.
Print was cool, and print has its own value, but when I look at things like the web documentaries, and I look at things like, the audio interviews, or people, we do a Michael Kamen interview, and people can hear the voice of a great composer who's no longer with us. The energy that you could never get across in a Q&A. Elmer Bernstein, these people are permanently archived. That's pretty important.
We wanted to keep the essence of what was Film Score Monthly for 15 years or so alive somehow. We have respect for the music that deserves respect. And we also take an irreverent attitude towards even the composers that we really like. Nobody, there's no one that's off limits but we try and be fair about it.
Hello?
Hey, Brad, Tim.
It's come along pretty well. I've gotten through about half the reviews and have about half more to go.
John just called me, said something about you taking some commas out.
Well, the phrase I think that you're referring to usually doesn't have a comma and for standard grammar rules, and it kind of reads better. For some reason, to, the infinitive doesn't use commas.
Yeah, I know, but it doesn't make any. If you want to pause it.
If you want, I can change it back. No problem.
All right, you know what? You're fired.
All right. I better get back to this.
Okay, thanks for your work.
Bye.